The Zeniths of the Extremophiles. Often we ask, what are the limits of life? Can it just be too hot, cold, or pressurized for the comfort of an organism? This is answered by the very existence of creatures in novel places, or the extremophiles. Creatures like the barophiles, which can live in the sea, can take the pressure of a zone where no one goes. Then there are the thermophiles, able to take the heat of hot springs, deep sea hydrothermal vents, or peat bogs. And of course, since the thermophiles exist, so much the psychrophiles, which are able to live in bitter, frozen conditions. And then there are those who appreciate the salt of the ocean, the halophiles. Now, proteins and nucleic acids, the very basis of structure and function in the body, are an integral aspect of life. At those extreme temperatures, these proteins and other molecules essential for life do not stand a chance. Now, there are creatures, such as the thermophiles, that vary over a wide range of temperatures and environments, while humans must stay at a balmy 28 degrees Celsius. The optimal temperature for thermophiles to flourish is about 60 to 80 degrees Celsius, perfect for places like the Grand Prismatic Spring, a pool in the Yellowstone National Park. The center is an iridescent blue, gradually radiating outwards into separate colors, each color having a varying temperature with different types of thermophiles. One way these amazing creatures deal with these temperatures includes a decrease in surface-to-volume ratio of proteins. They can decrease the amount of cavities in their folded proteins to increase stability, and shorten peptide loops to reduce exposure. Now, the very antithesis of thermophiles, the psychrophiles, are able to live in temperatures of less than 15 degrees Celsius. While you may think this is strange, 80% of Earth is actually freezing, so you can find them in places like this block of ice. Some major problems these creatures have is reduced enzyme activity or problems with protein folding. The psychrophiles deal with these issues by increasing their portion of unsaturated fatty acids, to combat the membrane turning to gel and losing function, among other things. With the barophiles, they have the issue of proteins coagulating, since the elevated pressure changes the integrity of their proteins. So they compensate for this by changing their amino acid composition, increasing the expression of accessory stabilizing proteins and the frequency of arginine, while isoleucine, glutamine, and glutamic acid decrease. Now, the barophiles are able to take the pressure of living in the Marianas Trench, being discovered recently as deep as 11,000 meters. Just to give you an idea of how deep this is, let's take a look into the depths of the Marianas Trench. Now, about 40 to 50 meters is the limit for recreational scuba divers. It's called the sunlight zone. 1,000 meters is the maximum depth that sunlight will penetrate. It's the twilight zone. And now we're getting a little bit deeper, going 2,438 meters, the operating depth of an oil rig. 4,267 meters is the average ocean depth. And then these are different expeditions that went on. 7,235 meters is the South Sandwich Trench, which is the deepest part of the Southern Ocean. And 8,400 is the Puerto Rican Trench. Now, about 10,898 was the depth undergone by James Cameron, and 10,994 is the deepest place on Earth. While the barophiles live in pressurized environments, the halophiles survive in areas of excess salt that would most likely kill other organisms. They're able to take more than 3.5 moles per liter of salt, and are found in areas like the South San Francisco Bay salt ponds, or this evaporation pond in Baja, Mexico, with the red color being due to carotenoid pigments being released by the halophilic bacteria living in it. Now, clearly, maintaining their water levels would be an issue for these particular creatures, as well as ion concentration. But they maintain these through something called the organoosmolyte strategy, where the cytosol is kept salt-free. To reduce the osmotic pressure, halophiles will use ions in the cell, such as potassium, glycine, betanine, glutamine, proline, and sucrose, to reduce osmotic pressure. This will keep the cell from desiccating or becoming completely dry and bursting. All of these extremophiles love the environment in which they live. Their very name concedes their inner boundaries, so different from ours. Yet humans as a species are always seeking, reaching for the unreachable, never satisfied with their current state of affairs. This is why we explore, reaching for space, an achievement once a dream, now a reality. We are constantly searching for that which we cannot have. I look forward to the day when we are able to join our extremophilic friends at the very boundaries of the Earth, and maybe one day even beyond those.